This episode is proudly supported by OpenTable.
Nearly 1/3 of diners are booking same day. So they're making those decisions on the spot. And 10% are making their bookings within just a few hours. And so it's why it's so important to have booking software like OpenTable, which allows your diners to discover you. And so when restaurants are on platforms like OpenTable, they're much more likely to be discovered. We help diners to connect to restaurants. Ultimately, having technology, using technology, helps you to reattach to those diners.
Experience the power of OpenTable. For an exclusive offer, visit restaurant.opentable.com.au/DITW.
When you see posters up interstate or around the community that, we supply freshwater turkeys at Christmas, and people say, I'm in Sydney, where can I get some of your turkey, is something I feel quite proud of.
This is The Producers. I'm Anthony Huckstep. In Australia, turkey often plays second fiddle to chickens, but things are changing. An idea to have a few turkeys on the farm led Claire Longbottom down a path to breed and pasture-raise rare heritage turkeys in the Clare Valley of South Australia. These incredible birds grow slowly and are free to roam outside and embrace an active lifestyle. And the proof lies in some of the most sought-after turkey in the country.
We live on a farm in mid-north of South Australia. It's called the town of Spalding, and it's right in between the Clare Valley and the Flinders Range, as I like to say. So I can sort of say we are, pretty local to the middle of SA, really. It's good because we generally get a decent rainfall in the middle of winter, and then in the summer we still get generally nice average summer weather, so nice warm days for the turkeys to grow. And then when it comes to winter, we get enough rain for pasture to grow out in the yards where we have them free ranging with 6-foot fences. So it works pretty well. It's only a 2-hour drive from Adelaide, so it's quite adaptable to getting produce down to Adelaide to customers, or for transport companies. They're always coming through our way. So it's quite good, and decent growing conditions on an average type general Australian day, really.
Both Claire and her husband Jason grew up raising poultry in their own families as children, and both concede it's hard to imagine a farm without them.
I grew up in the mid-north SA, about a half an hour, 45 minutes away from where we are in Spalding, and I was on a farm. I was in a family of 4 girls, and my mother and father were on a farm over there, and I was always, probably out of the 4 of us girls, the one that was always the hands-on. I was Dad's boy all the time, helping him with the sheep, with the farming. He was a sheep farmer as well as a cropping pastoral farmer as well. So I was always very keen in being outdoors, outside. It meant I didn't have to be inside doing dishes or housework, and I could stay out late or get days off school for shearing when time came, that time of year. And my husband grew up on the farm, and we're still, on his farm now. So, farming was always second nature, and throughout my, 15, 20 years or so, I've tried and dabbed in office work or reception type work in various areas in the Clare Valley. I think my heart was always knowing that I was best suited on the land, hands-on, outside, inside, vehicles, driving tractors, driving trucks, working with sheep. I'm a real animal lover myself, so I really enjoy working with a dog or working with the poultry or with any of the sheep or anything.
With an appetite to grow turkeys, Claire found a breeder of rare heritage birds, jumped in the car and set off to collect them.
So my husband was looking at getting some turkeys, and it's actually, unless you know someone, it's actually quite hard to source people before Facebook came about. So my husband Googled turkeys in Australia, where to collect them, and we found Daryl Deutscher's turkey farm at Dadswell Bridge. And we contacted him, and that was only about 12 years ago or 10 years ago, and that was sort of at the time where you were a bit sceptical for then who you were talking to on the phone, because you didn't have, the concept of talking to someone that you've just found on the internet. Who would know these days who you'd find when you rang someone. So we got in touch with him, and we went for a drive with the 2 young kids and Jason's mother and father, and we brought home a trailer worth of heritage turkeys. So we're going for a couple, and I think we ended up with about 8 or 10. But when you drive 8 hours in the ute, you get what you think you might need, and a few more on top when the wife's not looking, and Jace gets a couple extra more. So we started breeding our own turkeys, and one thing led to another, and then we were helping Deutscher's turkey farm fill contracts, and I sort of always said, look, I want to crawl before I can walk, but I think I've mastered walking onto sprinting at the moment. So I remember our first season, we got some turkeys from a bloke in the Adelaide Hills, and that we found, and this is a big stud turkey and a couple of hens, and we bred naturally 16 young turkeys, and then we got them processed, and a bloke said, you could be able to sell all them, like get them slaughtered. And so we did that, and they all sold like hotcakes. And then we thought, okay, well, let's do this again. And then we started realising that the natural breeding system doesn't work as well as the, I guess, human enforced way of getting turkeys to breed through incubators and hatches and brooder rooms. So the next year we bred another 50, and then every year we seemed to double how many, and then it was 250, and worked out what we were doing worked. But I remember being pregnant, standing up on a ladder, holding the world mesh to make a fence. So we've got turkey yards, and just thinking, what am I doing? I'm pregnant. It's the middle of summer. I shouldn't be standing on a ladder helping build turkey yards, but that's what you do when you marry a farmer. You take the good and the bad and run with it. We started off with the heritage turkey, which is a general turkey, but there's all different colours of turkeys. There's sort of not a turkey breed. It's more like a coloured turkey, and then there's a commercial white. So we breed all the heritage turkeys, and then we also buy in a white commercial turkey from the Ingham's hatchery factory in New South Wales. So, so that's the types of turkeys that we have, and we breed the white commercial into a heritage bird and make a bigger, fatter, plumper heritage turkey, so we're getting more bang for our buck while we breed them.
With just 16 birds produced in their first year, Claire relied on friends and family to purchase turkey, but soon they were producing more than they could sell and needed to find a solution.
So we started at back gate type thing, really. I had friends and family that wanted to purchase some turkey when they said we've got some turkey rolls. Oh, yeah, well, that will be good. Like, that'll save me having to go anywhere, further down the road or going into Woolworths or Foodland, and we know it's fresh, and we know it's local, and we know there's no additives or preservatives. We know it's all good and fresh and good product. So we did that a bit. Then our butcher, Day's Quality Meats, Mike Day in Clare, he supports us and processes bits and pieces for us. And he started doing a product that we could do, like sausages, schnitzels, packing up wings, and all the drumsticks and breasts and all that sort of fillet meat. And we decided to start selling at a Warrabra producers market in the Southern Flinders Ranges. So we did that for about 3 years until we got to the point where the quantity of product that we were producing every week was more than what we needed to be doing at the markets every Sunday, once a month. And so we had to sort of stop that, because then we were selling product in pallet amount rather than just box amount at the producers market. So it's sort of in 3 or 4 years, like I said, I was walking along like that and killing about 40 a week, to now, 6 years later, killing 200 a week at a time, sometimes 300-400 if they're smaller birds at Christmas time.
Turkeys are not the only thing the Longbottoms produce on the farm, and throw in 3 young children, and life on the farm is busy from dawn to dusk.
In the middle of our peak season, from any time from November, December, for example, get up, I've got 3 children that are 10, 11 and 7, so it's first thing getting them to school. They live to go to school in the town, so that's only a 5-minute drive to drop them off. Yesterday I had to process over at Kapunda, where we kill our turkeys, about 50 little birds to get taken to Adelaide today. So we caught them. My husband was off feeding turkeys, took them to Kapunda, came home with them, and then I had to help with some sheep work, because it's the time of the year where, there's lots of sheep work. So I was out in the yards helping draft off all the sheep, and then came home and picked the kids up from their grandparents' house in Spalding, and then was out boxing all the turkeys again that evening, to then get up in the morning and take the turkeys in boxes and cartons down to a transport company in Adelaide. So that's just been a small snap of my last 24 hours, and along with taking kids to tennis training in between that, and putting a mum hat on for 5 minutes and then taking it off as soon as I've got it on.
Turkeys are big birds and full of character, so every day delivers entertainment and the odd challenge too.
So in the turkeys, at times in the big yards, they're about 50 metres squared turkey yards, and at one time for another, you may need to take one out because it might be getting picked on by another. And I remember being in thongs and shorts and T-shirt one summer day and going out to get this turkey. Now, turkeys are funny with people's feet and attire. If you're wearing your work boots or gum boots, they generally are okay. If you're wearing thongs or sand shoes and they're, feeling pretty active, they can attack you or just want to attack you at your feet and peck you. So there was this one day that I had to go out to the middle of the yard down the back and get this turkey, and you have to pick it up by its legs and chest and carry it out. So this bird is probably weighing about 25 kilo live. And these turkeys are big and white, and there's about 200 in the yard or so, whatever fitted at the time. And I've had to carry this turkey out. Now, here I am, a grown woman, running out the yard, screaming like a little kid that these turkeys are going to attack me. After growing up with poultry and everything all my life, running away from a big turkey is not something that you want to hope that someone drives past and sees, because it's quite a scary feeling with a pinch of stupid feeling on top. And another one was our business gets audited every year by PIRSA and Meat Safety. So we had a gentleman come out and do our audit one year, and we'd made these really great, what we thought were really great water covers for our troughs, because you need to stop and eliminate any way of other avian species coming in to your property, into your water, to eliminate disease. Anyway, okay. So we went outside and he was having a look around, and he said, but he's looking from the fence. And my husband saying, well, you got to come and see these water troughs. I've spent heaps of time, and they're really good, and we're really pretty proud of them. Can you come and have a look? And he sort of was very hesitant and stood about a metre behind my husband the whole time. And yes, yep, they look really good. Okay, no worries. Yep, we're finished here now. And he got out, and I think he was out of there like a shot. He was that petrified of them. It wasn't funny. Well, hang on a second. You're meant to be, the the boss man for poultry auditing our business. But yeah, so that was that's always quite, comical that we feel.
Claire believes it's a myth that turkeys are hard to cook. You just need to know what you're doing.
To me, it's all about how you cook it, and it's people not knowing, and because they only think they cook it at Christmas time, they only do it once a year, so they don't think if I keep doing it all the year round, at Christmas time, I'll know what to do. But the best thing to do is to keep it just moist. Cook it with water baths, roast it or cover the drumsticks on a whole turkey just to keep the moisture in. Also seasoning with not just dry breadcrumbs, but like a citrus or fruit or anything inside it, which will also give it its flavour, and bathing it in the juices that you're cooking it in, whether it's a citrus juice or something. Just really giving it some care to make it not dry out, rather than stick it in the oven and leaving it for 2 hours and thinking, oh, it's dry. Well, if you, so will a chook be if you do the same. But, if you put all the seasonings, the moisture of butter or oil over the top to give it the flavoursome as well, it will really, do it wonders and keep it moist, which is what a lot of people do when they buy our product. They get information from me on how to cook it or the best way to cook it. And then I haven't ever really had anyone complain. I've always ever had great reviews back from, family and friends and customers, and, just a random customer for a couple of hours away will drive and say, oh, I want to get your turkey again. Where can I get it? I'm like, just go to your local butcher.
Having both grown up on farms, Claire and her husband Jason know the challenges and benefits of farm life.
My husband and I get along pretty well 99% of the time, as any marriage do that work together. I have friends that say, oh, I could never work with my husband 24/7 like you do. And I said, well, we just, I think we've both got the same ways in mind of growing up on the farm. Not a lot of women did grow up on their farm or had a lot to do with their dad and their farming ways of life, but I did. So I feel that that's benefited me to know that, work needs to be done. We are going to have to be out here shearing till 11 o'clock at night. So then the next day we can start doing this with the turkeys. But yeah, family all around us, which is great. So Jason's brother and sister, one in Clare, one in Spalding as well, are always very helpful when it means to whether it means to help with the kids or take a delivery somewhere or take product somewhere or help catch the birds. Jason's brother is always very good to help catch the birds with us before slaughter. And his parents have always been very supportive and helped everything that he wanted to achieve be achievable. And I don't think you can run a business like this without that. We haven't, had to employ anyone on farm as such. But, it just means that everyone has to get along. It has its downfalls at times, I guess, because, I might think one thing and someone might think another, and you just have to learn to compromise with each other and work together, because there's really, when you live on the farm and you work on the farm, you farm from the morning you wake up to the night you go to sleep. So it's pretty full on.
Adding turkeys to the overall mix has had a surprising impact on Claire, who can't imagine life without them.
It's really made it a lot meaningful, as it feels like I've got a purpose. For a while you're there when I was having children, working on and off out of childcare centre that I did it for a bit, or kindergarten where I used to work there for a bit. I really had to stop anything like that because I just didn't have time. It really consumed a lot of my life, really. Like, it really has changed the way we eat. We eat turkey 9 times out of 10 because we've got it readily available. And I guess if I feel that if we're eating it, obviously we think it's great. I'd be worried if people are producing a food and not eating it themselves. Like, I think that's, very important to be able to be proud of what they've produced. So we eat turkey all the time, which I hadn't, done a lot of, except for when I was a child. My mum used to say we used to eat turkey at Christmas and Easter. And it's just changed the way we think of how we spend our money, or what we're going to be doing for this week to that week, from this month to that month, or how our day will change, or how my husband has to juggle and schedule our farming now. We share farm with his brother and their family. So, it has changed a lot of dynamics in, the way we farm, and when and how, and what fits into when, and what time of month is best to be doing something else. So, it's changed a lot of things and taught me to learn how to juggle so many things at a time, and taught me that I need to learn how to, be time manageable with everything, along with fitting in the kids as well.
The leap of faith in a product that is still small scale in Australia has given Claire great connections in the community and a real belief in backing your instincts.
I'm proud of ourselves in the way that our friends and community always will applaud us for taking that leap of diversity and trying something new. A lot of the farmers are all just sheep, or cropping or just sheep, and we've really taken out a risk to try something else, try something new, have an extra something to fall on for the farming family if anyone wants to take it on as they grow up. And I'm proud to see our product when you see posters up interstate or around the community that, we supply freshwater turkeys at Christmas, and people say, I'm in Sydney, where can I get some of your turkey? And, to be able to say people on the other side of the country are requesting our product is something I feel quite proud of, and that the work that we've gone into with it being a family owned and grown family business, starting from scratch to making it something that's now Australia-wide, just about is something quite amazing. That when I tell someone, I've just had a customer ring from Melbourne wanting our turkey, they go, oh my goodness, like that's amazing, how exciting. So that's, that then goes, this is pretty cool. I love being outdoors. I love working with the animals, as it means I get to work with my dog. I love my dog. We've got a great border collie who is half a person on farm, but we don't know how we'd do things without her. She helps shift turkeys from pen to pen. I love it that, I don't have to work every single day in an office with four walls and looking at a computer screen and getting tired. And, I enjoy spending time with my husband. There's a lot of people that don't spend a lot of time with their own family or their own husband or wife. And, I'm going to not be able to say, I hardly spent any time with him. Like, I can always be proud and happy and grateful that I got to spend, a lot of working hours and socialising with him with good and bad times. But, that's a really great thing. And I love having something that my children can watch and learn that if you put in the hard work, you will receive the rewards at the end, all going to plan. So, I think it's important that it's good that children are seeing hard work, and if they start young, they'll inherit that in themselves like my husband and I did.
Thanks to the Longbottoms, the perceptions of turkey are shifting as consumers not only experience and embrace it with greater knowledge, they're realising the unique eating qualities too. This is The Producers, a Deep in the Weeds production. I'm Anthony Huckstep. Stay tuned as we share the stories of producers, farmers, makers and growers, the true lifeblood of the food industry. Follow us on Instagram at Producers Podcast or email us at producerspodcast@deepintheweeds.com.au.